Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
Disneyland. Just, it's not as bad as, I mean, I don't know if you've ever done this, where you just hand the barman your credit card and you just get them to line up the optics, and you start at one side of the bar and work your way across all the optics until you fall off the stool. Lucky bastard. Apparently they can't hear you, but that's fine because they can hear me. Ha ha ha, demon. Ha ha ha. No, it's not yours. It's mine.
You little cunt. Hello, peoples. OBS is being a little bitch.
Yeah, everybody says you're silent.
Yeah, I'm not Bob.
Bob.
Hello, Rinoko.
You're silent, Bob. Does that make me fucking
Jay?
Jay?
Of course.
Oh, Nick. Jeez. It's funny you said that. I was coming down home and there was a guy just at the end of the street, just leaning against the shed wall at the end of a set of houses. Now,
having the base cap turned backwards, not saying a thing.
No, he was just there, 1 foot on the wall, smoking, and it's not close to either the back or front door. It's a journey, assuming he lives in that last house, and I don't think he does. And then when I got up past him, I'm saying hello, I could smell the devil's lettuce. Like that. Anyway.
Speaking of weed, I had a very
weed.
Interesting ride to work last week. I think it was a Monday or so.
Yep.
I passed a house, and all of a sudden there was a very distinct smell in the air. Either it was a very long-going party and they were still doing it, or they just got up and started the day fresh.
It could go either way.
Hello, Dunley.
I used to kick around with a couple of people. It was never it never stopped.
Yep. No, Crispin, it wasn't the smell of stale sex. It was very much what Jerry described as the devil's lettuce. Weed!
I was going to say, Crispin, you need to practice with a rifle a bit more.
Brussels sprouts, yes.
Sprouts.
I think, getting back to our initial topic of gamings, I think next year will be the year of 10mm games.
Really?
Yeah. Just dawned on me today because while Games Workshop is trying to gouge everybody for Legion Imperialis, which will be shipped next year, if I remember correctly.
It is. It's not even me. I thought
the pre-orders sold out last Saturday.
Oh, right, okay.
And then
I
there's
thought it was coming out
Mantic doing their Warpath Kickstarter later this month, which presumably will be also delivered next year. I guess.
Yeah, sure. Let's say yes.
And then there's the Mustard crew from Warcradle doing Armored Clash next year.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that, but you're missing out on full spectrum dominance from the Lazy Forger.
Could be.
Although it's all ones and zeros, but his new faction's coming out for that, I think, this month.
The funny thing is, when I started thinking about it, I tried to make a little timetable on what happened when. So on the 14th of November, Games Workshop posted a catch-up meme for their Legion Imperialis. On the 15th of November, Mantic did their Kickstarter announcement. On the 18th, there's a picture going on Reddit about how poorly cast the miniatures for Legion Imperialis is.
Yeah. Oh, it's not just on Reddit, because I don't know what Reddit is, but I've seen it on Discord and stuff.
On the 20th...
And some people trying to go, oh, that might just be prototypes. GW don't make prototypes.
On the 20th of November, then there's the announcement about Armored Clash, and it's basically 3 systems within a week.
To be fair, GW's one would have been out months ago if something hadn't happened. And I've heard differing accounts where they had to pull it because they had something, a very touch neo-Nazi in the book or something like that. And I would love to know, I would fucking kill to know what was in that book that had to be removed.
Can't imagine. Was there anything debatable in the original Epic line?
No.
I mean...
it's nothing to do with the models. It was something in the book itself.
Yeah.
Because they could have released the models, but then wouldn't have had a rule set to go with it. So, a character based on Sorella Braverman, I mean, that is possibly the most Nazi thing you could ever do.
The thing is, since they've went for Horus Heresy, it could be anything.
I like to imagine it was a chapter master Goebbels and it was just nothing but swastikas across an entire page, and it got all the way through to printing before somebody went, should we be doing that? You know,
we probably will never know.
No, we
and
won't.
Potentially it's for the best.
My favourite one though is because obviously there was the things
doing Orc
stuff.
Storm Boys, says Dave. Yeah, if they were at the end of the book and were the original Storm Boys, they could have raised some eyebrows, but I doubt that they would have actually called for scrapping a print run.
No, they wouldn't have done that. I mean, they're still there everywhere. Am I done?
Crispin going all in.
Where is this? You go, Crispin. You be all that you can be. Is it here? Was it in this? All right, yeah. So GW did a Rhino driving through a sauce packet or something, and then Business Daddy
a
driving
tiny
through
ketchup thing.
Red sauce, and then Business Daddy did it driving through mustard.
Yep.
So somebody on Mantic's face page asked, posited, GW have their ketchup packet, red sauce. War Cradle has dropped mustard. I think there's only one way we can properly escalate this, with Szechuan sauce. To which Mantic responded, no sauce is required. The great thing about our factions is they already come in more than one flavour. Oh, fucking legends. Absolute fucking legends.
Also, I must point out on the Facebook page where they originally just did the one picture, they added a FAQ later on, a PDF, which is this one.
The fact Legio
it's the
already?
pack version 0.01. What is Armored Clash?
Oh,
where and when do battles of Armored Clash take place? What scale is it?
Business Daddy's thing.
What do my classic Dystopian Wars miniatures officially count as in Armored Clash? Can I combine Armored Clash, Dystopian Wars, and other games set in Dystopian Age? When can I buy Armored Clash? And the thing that they actually started the FAQ with, sections in blue and important, and have changed since previous errata. Will we get another FAQ? I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, I'm actually looking forward to how this all pans out. Just to see what happens to whom.
Oh, well, we know what will happen. Others will drift to the wayside. GW will get all the money, and then will refuse to actually support the product, thus pissing off all their fans, who'll then go and buy the next GW product instead because they can't get any more Legio fucking Nebulous.
Yeah, that's probably a terrifying realistic take on how it's going to work.
There'll be a lot of swearing. The game they've invested so much in, which I hear rocks in around 800 quid if you want a full army. So it's, there's 800 quid up the pisser. Can't play anymore. They're not producing anything else. They stop supplying it. Oh, this is balls. What's happening? Oh, new version of Blood Bowl. Oh, amazing. Great. Oh, holy fuck, Cork I've heard about that. Great. Sign me up.
Yeah, it's something about along those lines, probably. Well, for myself, I'm not getting into horror series stuff even at that scale. Armored, what was it called again?
I don't know.
Romantic, the one.
Oh,
Warpath.
Warpath.
Somehow the design doesn't click with me, so if pricing and rules wise the stuff from War Cradle is any good, I might give it a go. I even went as far as mailing support on War Cradle going, do you have any preview copies you laying around?
I don't think they've written it yet.
Yeah, but get in early. Get a foot in the door. I was very much tempted to say Jerry sends his regards to see what happens.
The, the first thing would be who?
Yeah, exactly, I guess. That's why I didn't.
She always used Justin's name. They know who Justin is.
Oh, but is that a good or bad thing?
You know, could go either way.
Well, this Johnson sent me.
That also works, yeah. It's all about the
Hello,
Angelus.
Tufty.
Didn't Small Scale sync Spartan Games? No, I think Spartan sank Spartan Games. Because it's not like they did anything that wasn't small scale. And there are companies out there who have done nothing but small scale and have been going for 40 years. So, you know, it's certainly not a recipe for disaster. You just need to know what you're doing with it.
Yeah, there will be an upsurge in 10mm stuff with ones and zeros. Ewok, I'm pretty sure. There's already a lot of stuff in that regard, so.
Just the worst, the absolute worst. Although not as bad as some projects I've seen kicking around. For example, there's a private one at the moment called Playing Square-Based Games on Rounds, which I know has been done by a terrible bastard. And I would have linked it all to you here, but it's private still. There's nothing in it. But I'll be fucking watching it. Ewok.
You said that. I've received a newsletter today. I can't remember which company it was. They actually make adapters for small squares to fit with bigger squares to work with the new
Sweatshop's
old world.
new fucking old world. Yeah.
Headline: no need for rebasing. Keep your beautiful square bases. Just put this square above it.
No need for rebasing. Just don't do that. Don't play that game.
The sheer amount of work people seem to go just for.
It is very much like a penis sleeve, Crispin. You're right. Well done, you.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So, let's go watch other people's project.
Yep.
So, Eva Kebab, the one we were just talking about, what's you on about now again?
You filthy, filthy bastard. So this is Black Magic Craft, isn't that it?
Mm-hmm.
His skirmish game, Idols of Torment. These are some of the tormented souls, what he has been working away on.
See, now I remember why the name sounded so familiar. It was actually the Black Magic Crafty guy.
Yeah. He has foam and everything. He uses foam.
Yeah, but he's Canadian.
Yeah. What's it all about? Eh? That's probably what he says. So yeah, the scenery we've looked at before.
Facepalm the statue.
I love the facepalm statue. I like all of the scenery that Kebob has dug out from what appears to be every tacky shop in his area. So there's some really unusual looking things there, like crusadery type knights and stuff that have been press ganged into being part of the tormented world of tormented soul, this tormented. And I love them on their big weird bases. It reminds me of those videos that you would see where somebody spends 10 minutes and £150 in spray cans and newspaper, spraying the sun or the moon onto a bit of fucking cardboard. You think, really? Surely you're not going to make any money out of this. It's very similar, but different.
Yeah, it's a interesting way to use what I think is potentially Halloween decorations.
Oh, don't limit yourself to just Halloween. Go into any hippie new age shop or any dope smoker den where they've got, you know, cannabis pipes sitting beside a mountain of skulls. In any flea market anywhere around the world, you'll find tat like this.
We don't
and it looks
have any
wonderful.
of those.
You don't have tat
No.
shops. You do.
No.
Do with your lives.
No, I might be lying through my teeth, but we don't have those.
This is leftover from the war, isn't it? You know, it's all make, do, and mend. Can't have a shop for tat. That's not efficient.
No, it's a waste of resources.
Exactly. Yeah. When you're having to dig through rubble in Berlin for 20 years to find food, you can't be wasting time with a shitty-looking angel or some sort of dodgy-looking fucking necromantic ghost, man. Always mention the war demon. Always. Look at that guy. And when you see him unpainted before he gets the blackening,
I'm not sure I actually want to see him unpainted.
Oh, it's so good. It's a whole other level of kitsch.
Oh god, why is there a Marx bust?
Why not? And he's not. And there's a really nice paint job of him later on. But look at those skulls. Look at them. They are top quality shit.
As I said, high-end Halloween decorations.
All the stuff from the street next to the Vatican. Man, Vatican is nothing. If you want to see low budget kitsch or no go, there we have our own holy site in Ireland called Knock, and it's like a cheap cut price version of the Vatican, and they sell all the tat. I mean, they sell Pope lollipops and stuff. It's just the
can suck the Pope.
You can lick his face. It's a whole other level of terribleness. It's like if Blackpool was merged with, you know, Vatican City. It's just absolutely god awful. But the fact that Kebab has merged all of this stuff together into a whole array of big psychedelic vinyl records for his Idols of Torment to idle around tormentedly.
This makes my eyes water.
It's good, isn't it? That's what I'm talking about, where they do that thing on the street and then they get like a newspaper and stick it up and stuff, and it's all awesome. For the kiddies, Dave, for the kiddies. Can you suck the poop? Poop on a rope. I mean, you can, but you should ask him first. Because
buy him dinner.
Well, the Swiss guards are what can be described as double hard bastards. So you don't want to go off apropos of nothing. They don't carry pikes anymore. They do carry P90s, I think.
Yeah, this is an interesting take on. Let's see where this will end.
Well, this is it, because the scenery was being developed and built not long after the Kickstarter launched, which meant we've had to wait until now, a good 4 or 5 months after that, before actual miniatures and stuff have arrived from said Kickstarter to actually see things like the game. So soon there'll be a battle report, because I mean he's got most of his creepy ass world done there. Now he just has to have people run about and hoover up the souls. And I like the rustiness.
Yeah, this is interesting. I somehow fell off the Black Magic Craft train video following for some reason. It just didn't click with me anymore. I guess because he was mainly pushing his 3D file stuff.
So I've never really watched it, so it didn't really bother me. And then obviously,
well, now you're not watching any
YouTube
at all.
happens, so I don't go near it. So. Never been fucking happier. Up to Series 5 on Supernatural, rewatching that. It's cool.
So, who's going to follow up with this weird and wacky stuff?
Hey, Night Runner. He's a night runner.
Making sense of Stormcast. Well,
Yep.
yeah.
And like a lot of people, the first thing he did was realize that round bases and Age of Shepmar were terrible things. And so he's put them onto square bases to use them in King's War, which right off the bat, Night Runner, that is exactly the right thing to do. What I will say is, yes, ogres, but no ogre army. What you have there is a really good basis for ogre palace guard. And if you combine that with your 100 Years War plastics from the Perrys that you say you've got kicking around, you could run those as Basileans. And then you could have a Basilean paladin force. So lots of paladins running around backed up by ogres in full plate armor with glaives. I just kicked the toys out of everyone.
Hello, do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior?
Yes, I do. I have all the time to talk about it. I'll go one step further because I don't know if you've got any more of these things, but there were some with like weird wings on them, in which case you use those as your Aloha, your Basilean angel cavalry, just flying around the place and poking people in the face. So that
Flying ogres.
do that. Well, no, technically flying angels, but it amounts to the same thing. I do really like the combination of the super verdigris and then the massive fucking glowing stab the shit out of you glaives.
My first reaction was he overdid the verdigris, but then I saw that he's actually going for a style with it's very over rusted and then there's some glowy bits shining through, especially on the blades. So it does work.
I don't think you can ever overdo verdigris. I know what you're saying, but considering just how blue things get, you've just got to look at any church steeple or town hall.
It makes them look more like machinations?
Sure.
Machines, like, not just living
that's
beings.
a completely different word. Machinations is like plans, evil plans. They're machinations. Machines are things that do work for you.
Do they?
Mm. Well, that's what they are. Like the Polish robot. Slave, I think.
Well, these robots could use some polish, that's for sure.
No, don't bother. They're ogres. They don't need to be polished. You could have all the Aloha super polished. Because then those are the angels and those ones there are the ogres.
Super polished extra great.
That's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. He had a few other concepts down below as well, including super shiny fucking red. And I have no idea what that army would have looked like. But it's worth having a look. Have a look at number 2 and number 3. So, because these are in order. So,
yeah, but it's just one picture.
Coat. Oh no! Oh, is it? It's a massive picture.
It's one picture.
Then I can zoom in on 2, and then scroll over to 3. Because going from the super candy red to the gold, where you're just seeing the red through it, that's really fucking nice as well.
It is, but is it just a step in his painting process? Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't see it. You can see it barely. But if you just stopped at 3, don't go any further. Just go, I've got that far. That's my angel. That's an interesting way to go.
That would be a very interesting way of speed painting. Prime candy red and then just slobber some gold on.
Yep. I've no problem with that. I've done very similar things to that in the past. Emma, are you late? Technically, we're only 5 minutes away from the end of our tightly scripted half hour.
Technicalities.
It's the best kind. Anyway, so yeah, I think 3 interesting. And presumably that's all done with an airbrush. Because you're not slathering any paint over that. you'd end up with terrible brush marks.
He didn't say.
He didn't. Tell you, it's not a dry brush anyway. It's far too fucking nice.
No slap chop.
A hooker bit your tongue off. Why do you keep saying that?
At some point, you can't stop saying these things.
I can, I just won't.
Oh, okay. So, fair enough.
It's different, very different.
So, Night Runner starting a new project for Kings of War with appropriate sized bases.
Oh, appropriate size bases and edges and everything. It's great. It's fucking great.
Doug! Fuck this! Is this for example?
It could be for, as an example. I'm just going to tell Nightrunner to run the Mazooka Palace Guard in case he doesn't watch this. Because I mean, why would you?
Friend of mine has meant to get into Saga for some time. He felt 4 points boxes of Gripping Beasts were too tempting to pass up.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's definitely a way. Like I've got a late Roman army from Footsore that's still in the box somewhere.
As is tradition.
It's substantially more than 4 points, I'll give it that. Substantially more. But yes, so tiny little Douglas doing some of those Romans to go the house.
Oh, look, that's a nice setup.
Yep. Look, you too can see the army all laid out. Oh, that's your... I was trying to work out where the fuck my cursor was on that screen, but yours. Weirdo. Absolute fucking weirdo.
Yes, yes.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That's a 1.5 points of fucking levy archers. What are you doing, you lunatic? 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Well, there's 16. That's too big. These are all wrong, Doug. You're killing me here. You're killing me. Max unit size 12. You're going to take 4 out of that unit of core warriors. 2, 4, 6, 8. You can stick them into the other unit. I'll give you 2 units of 12, which is better in every respect. Or 3 units of 8, which would probably be better again, because then you get extra Saga dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, definitely you want to do that. You've got 5 Hearthguard. Have you got 5 mounted Hearthguard? That's wrong.
eBay additional bits.
Well, you eBay all the additional bits you want. Need to drop one of those. At some point I'm going to have to go in and try and work out what Warren's pictures of here's some stuff upside down in the box, make me a list is. It's going to be tricky. Because when you're just looking at stuff upside down in the box, you don't really know what the fuck's in there. Which isn't what was discussed on the XLBS or anything. It's like, show me what you have and I'll make you lists.
And he sent you an upside down picture of his box.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, it didn't send to me. Did that Discord thing, stuck it in there. So what you can see in there is the same. That is the amount of information I've got to work with. Who knows? Who knows what the fuck's going on there?
Oh, the Dr. Jerry will be seeing you now channel on Discord.
Yep, that's the one. Anyway, so yes.
Might I just point out, I'm not drinking brown lemonade today.
Well done, you. Had to happen sooner or later. Presumably you've been cut off.
To be fair, my supply is empty. I need to go on another supply run.
Sounds bad. Sounds bad.
On Friday.
Oh no.
Yes.
Then we'll be into next week.
Potentially, I forget by Friday again because I've forgotten last Friday, so there's a chance that I forget again.
Oh, that's good news.
Because for me to not forget, I would have to get up now, go to the kitchen, add it to the shopping list.
Oh, so, no, don't do any of that.
See? It's not like I have a big electric thingamajig sitting in front of me that would be able to remind me before Friday, put brown lemonade on shopping list. For some reason.
I'm going to assume, Nick, that when you say Guinness, that's like raised eyebrow emoji. I'm on the Guinness, as always. And not 0.0%.
Yeah, don't go outside. It has people's.
It's the absolute worst. But anyway, yeah. So it'll be fascinating to see where Doug goes with that, because the late Romans are a separate book that also contains things like the Picts, Goths, Busies, and a few other bits and pieces.
Oh, thank God you said Goths.
Yes.
Now I have this picture in my head again.
Is it all the Goth ladies
Yeah,
being stopped by Byzantines
it's
trying to
such
stop
a
the fall of Rome?
stupid meme.
It's a great meme. It's amazing.
Oh no, alert Rome, the Goths are coming. Ah!
I mean,
Why?
good, it's good times. Good times.
Let's please go on because my brain starts melting.
What a world, what a world. Is that what he said?
Yes. See, there's a naval and we have battles by Elmir.
Yeah, not been here in a while, which has given him the opportunity to knock out about fucking 15 fleets while nobody's been looking at him. You've got to keep your eye on him all the time.
It's like that one Doctor Who episode where you don't have to blink.
They might do, Pete. They might do. There's only one way to find out for certain.
That'll be.
That's to get up close. Oh man, WarpCon's coming up. I've not been to WarpCon in fucking forever. End of January. WarpCon's where we got Admiral Ozzel, Michael Shard, absolutely fucking hammered on potchain and thought we were going to kill him. WarpCon was a magical place.
Why
magical.
would he think that?
Why would we? Who? What? Who?
Why would he think that you were about to kill him?
No, he didn't think we were about to kill him. We thought we were going to kill him because the amount of potching had poured into that old man. Because he was very old when he was there as the guest.
But he weathered it all.
Well, you know, he did steal the microphone during the pub quiz and do bad Darth Vader impersonations down it, which was particularly good. Oh, and he told the head of Hogshead Publishing to fuck off as well. That was an amazing, amazing WarpCon.
Do you know who I am?
Oh, I don't even think it was that. I think he was attempting to try and get the thing back in order or something, but you know, who cares? It's good. It's good times.
Oh look, Titanic.
No.
No? Sacre bleu.
But there is a Titan and an Olympic based on the Titanic in the new box set. So presumably it's not far away because I see the Sultanate are kicking around there. Goths and Rome. I have to find this for
I
Pete.
just noticed that is instantly going on my nerve is the basis for the flyers with all the wavy bits. The wavy bits go all different directions. They're not all the same. They're different. Why?
Yeah. Because the thing in the middle with the massive downdraft will be pushing the waves out in all directions.
Yeah, but they're all parallel lines. But just look at it. These are only going in a 45-degree angle.
Oh, you mean that? Oh, I don't care about that.
That's irritating as fuck.
It'd be more irritating if it was on a proper square base and you required a direction. You don't need a direction or anything on those. They just sort of float around the place, pushing the water in any direction they want. It's good. It may be James Wallace, big guy, brown hair, kind of wavy, huge forehead.
Tarnished control ship.
Look at the gold. So much gold. Pete, I've thrown that in the Discord, by the way, I think. Yes, I have.
Very bling blingy. Jeebus, he was very productive.
Oh yeah, that's why I say you've got to keep your eye on Elmir. Otherwise he'll just start hammering out fleets if you're not careful. You've got to keep your eye on him at all times. And I will throw it out there. This is not his only project he's doing. He's got a BattleTech one as well. But we've been to the BattleTech one more recently, and I figured we couldn't let this one fall behind.
Otherwise, we'll be never able to catch up.
Sounds like Jim Martin from Faith No More. No, big forehead, yes. Hair lighter brown, not dark, and it only came down to about there, but it was kind of, wavy. Anyway. Gailcom was good. What? Absolute nonsense. Anyway, yes.
Nick ran a miniatures painting table. BattleTech painting competition for charity. Things for charity are always a plus in my book. I love doing.
There was not a silent auction. There was a charity auction at, it may actually have been WarpCon a few years ago, where they sold nothing for the most money. Things just got out of hand.
How does that work? Sell nothing for money.
Essentially, it got to like the end of the charity auction, and they'd finished, and then somebody went, empty box, and people just started bidding on it, and it pulled in the most money of the night. It was just like ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that was what I really need to go back to WarpCon.
We have this box of nothing. The bidding starts at £1, and people go mental. So that's about what I need to think about.
Yeah, but it went very, very high indeed. Anyway.
Sell nothing for money, aka Kickstarter.
Good old Kickstarter. That would also work, yes.
Yeah, to be fair, if you sell nothing for a good cause, people know they're getting nothing, and other than for karma points and tingly feeling in their lower intestines. If you're getting nothing from Kickstarter, you usually find yourself enraged.
Like that.
The painting by Banksy that shredded itself. Yeah, that was a fun moment. Although the shredding was only partial, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I still believe that was a stunt in and of itself, despite what Banksy says. Easy for you to say.
Thursday. Actually, it's Tuesday, but we'll just get on with it. So, Blood and Crowns.
Yes. So, the Kickstarter, the PDFs have come out. The physical stuff isn't due for a while yet. But Thursday's decided, or even before then, he decided he was going to start prepping for it coming. And so he's been putting together a few bits and bobs. His color scheme is like Hollywood. There we go. That's where the color scheme's coming from.
Yeah, I've seen that update from him, and I was very much laughing on the floor because, oh man.
Yeah. Historically, they'd all be very nice and bright, but let's add the medieval filter. It says production company, and then just smear everything in brown.
And let's not forget the torches everywhere.
Yeah, well, it's the way to do it.
Fire hazards surely weren't a thing, and cities didn't burn down multiple times.
But
just look at the reference material. Where's the brown filter on that?
Well, it depends what that battle is that it's portraying, because that could easily be a battle of the Vikings, because they had a terrible tendency in the later medieval period to do earlier stuff in the style of the modern armor, like King Arthur and his knights. Everybody always thinks of them in the big shiny armor and the buckety helms, whereas they'd look more like Doug the Fug's late Romans. Rushlights, we need less torches and more rushlights. Like the light you get at the front of the stage when Rush is playing. It's loads of lighters. Tom Sawyer in the background.
I don't know what rush lights are either, so enlighten us, Demon Sub. What's a
A rush is a bull rush. It's like a big reed.
So more like a big pile of tiny branches burning than an actual torch.
I mean, I don't know what the massive difference is between a torch and a
Pretty much like sticks in a dish of oil.
yeah, you know,
Okay.
working like a wick. Anyway. So yes, the idea that Thursday is breaking out the old Bretonians, so Bretonian archers and the Bretonian metal command, and then adding a touch of the historically accurate Browns to do his Blood and Crowns. Is that actually meant to be Agincourt? Oh, so it is. I can just see the core at the end. I can't see the Agin at all. I can see a Z in the middle of it. It looks like D. D-A-Z-I-N. Dazencourt. Crazy people with their calligraphies. Makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Learn to write.
It's alright, they're all dead now. Fuck off.
Okay.
That horse on the ground sniffing a line of coke too. Get up, horse. It's a battle, for fuck's sake.
It just wants to play a game.
At the end, it's a very poor candle. Oh, okay. Be interesting to see. Anyway, likewise, it'd be interesting to see what Thursday thinks of Blood and Crowns. If it wasn't for the fact I'm desperately fighting against going anywhere near the 100 Years' War, I probably would have picked it up to go with the other Blood and games. It's Jamie Redknapp. No, it wasn't Jamie. It was Fowler. It was Robbie Fowler. Art Fowler, Heart in Heaven, who did the line
Hello,
when he
Doc.
scored.
Welcome.
Bonjour, you say, like an Arctic bear. What are they called? What do they call the big
Snowbears?
white bears?
Ice bears?
I'm going to go with ice bear because I can't think of what it is.
Albino brown bears?
That's the ones. He sticks his head out of a hole and says bonjour. Polar.
Polar bears.
That makes more sense.
Bipolar on
It's been a
each-
long day.
Indeed, it has. So let's see where Mr. Thursday is going with his Firelock game, Blood and Cronies.
Be fascinated to find out what he thinks of it.
Oh, look, it's sharp. No, it's not. It's green,
Glacier Mints.
but almost.
Typing head.
Doing the Habsburg Gendarmerie and local characters.
So this is Silver Bayonet adjacent.
Holy sh! That's
He's doing Gothic.
that's an angry smith if I've ever seen one.
Look at the fez on that.
Look
like
at the
his-
face on that.
I like his dueling friend. It's like that film The Deluge, which has got possibly the best duel ever on film. Where are the minis from? I don't know.
I'm going to say this is not a mold line. That's a vein.
You say that if you want. I know it is a mold line.
I'm going to. This one.
We can ask him.
This one gets a pass. That's a vein. If you paint it, it's a detail.
Yeah.
Cult of the cunt. Count.
He generally says where they're from, which surprises me that he hasn't. Yeah. Now, some of them are from Gothic Wars, so maybe these are the ones from Gothic Wars, because the ones that aren't are ones that he's listing. So he goes, these are from North Star, these are from whoever they are, Empire of the Dead, or that sort of thing. The Flailing Sabres in Deluge. Yes, they're great. Oh, what's that? You got a phone nearby? Have I got a phone nearby?
Not nowhere near your microphone.
I'm on flight mode, so yeah, it's definitely not me. Can anybody else hear that, or am I just freaking out, folks?
It would be interesting that the mic from the webcam is picking something up that I'm not getting in my headset. But then again, light phone bars. That's odd.
Yep. It's like when you used to hear your speakers go on your computer just before your phone rang. It was like that. Anyway, so yes, he's been putting together this stuff for a while now. Obviously, we've seen the Gripping Beast Hexenjäger before and the Skill and Command, which are really fucking nice. So much so that I keep thinking maybe I should buy some of those. And I think I don't need them. So let's just sit back down again until that wears off. But look at them. Look at them.
Where they're from, you said?
Gripping Beast.
Oh,
They did them for Saga, for example, for Age of Magic. But they'd be very good for something like Mordheim as well, which would be handy because as soon as Legio Imperialis Moralis has been chucked to the curb in 7 months, they'll probably be doing Mordheim again, at which point those miniatures would be great.
No, I think the next thing Gulu will make will be a 76mm scale Inquisitor.
Oh, they've not done one of those in fucking forever.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're going to do it.
Oh, yeah. But Mordheim, I think, is older still. And
Didn't
they'll be
they
just
come around
the old world.
at the same time?
No. I mean, they'll be close to each other, but they never released 2 games in the same year.
Oh, Evoc about nobody can afford the Hitachi one. That's expensive.
I suppose they did do a shit version of Mordheim, didn't they?
Cursed
They
City?
did like a box game piece of crap.
Wasn't that Cursed City?
Oh, fucking no idea. I just remember it was hot garbage.
Yeah, Dan Lee also is thinking about Cursed City.
Oh, right. I'd completely forgot that they'd done one.
Yeah, because it went down very badly. Because they sold out within minutes, and somehow some things in the background were miscommunicated within Games Workshop, and then it all came back as a made-to-order thing. It was just...
Yeah, Inquisitor came out in 2001, so 2 years after Mordheim.
Okay.
So yeah, Mordheim, I was going to say Mordheim deserves it first, but since we've already discussed that they have redone and shat the bed on Mordheim already, then maybe it will be Inquisitor then next year.
Or maybe it will be just a... Let's see, what other game haven't
Gorka
they
Morka.
remade already?
They've never redone Gorka Morka.
They did Speed Freaks, which was kind of, sort of...
It was just a racing game.
Yeah, but in the same vein was the weird flying game. They did
Bombers
a
over the
rebrand
Sulphur River.
of Gothic. No, Battlefield Gothic was a great game, and then they did the Aerial Imperialis or something.
Oh no, they're very different. I would have said Aeronautica Imperialis was just an upgraded version of Bombers over the Sulphur River.
Oh, okay. War Master, then there's Man of War.
Yeah. Dragon Masters would be class.
There's a lot they can still fuck up.
Oh yeah.
It's not like they're lacking material to...
Oh, that's my leg. Or Trolls in the Pantry. That'd be good. I was thinking of Gothic the other day, actually. So, because Prib will probably see it on the Indie of the Week this week.
Battlefield Gothic as Indie of the Week?
Obviously not GW. Just ships that could be used for Battlefield Gothic.
Oh. By which company?
If I told you that, it would ruin the fucking surprise.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh my god. You're just the absolute worst.
I beg your
Right.
pardon.
I think I'm going to have We Look Like Giants. Or maybe I'll have I Know the Difference. I Know the Difference.
What was the first one called?
The first one was For a While.
I'm feeling they're scraping the barrel of the names right now.
I don't think so. I mean, they've
Oh,
always
Duck
been
is going
fairly
full
weird.
on. Don't go full on retard, Duck.
Scales of a Billion Suns.
Jerry will
Crispin,
come and cut you.
answer him, Crispin. You can tell him what scale Billion Suns is. Fighters are somewhere in the region of 2 to 3 meters long and about a meter tall, and battleships are smaller than your thumbnail. That's how it works. Every battleship should be able to hide on top or inside of a fighter.
It's a billionth scale. Yeah, that's about it.
Anyway, so yes, I really like his Habsburg gendarmerie as well. Although it really does come down to the duelist there, because it is. If people haven't seen the Deluge, that fight is fucking amazing. It looks like they are actually trying to kill each other on camera, and I think they came close a couple of times because they were using metal swords in the rain on mud, and it's one take with a lot of slipping. So
That's how you know it's good.
yep.
Speaking of good, let's return to a good project we have visited earlier, I think.
Not earlier tonight though.
Well, not tonight, but
No, not tonight.
weeks ago.
Weeks ago. This is Denzian, who apparently won something while I was off for Trainfest.
Appreciation and admiration via the means of weird, made-up things.
Well, in this case, I think he won the gift voucher for Sarissa, but nobody bothered doing any of the prize claim shit while I was off for a week.
Didn't?
No, didn't post the prize winners, didn't pick any winners, didn't do any of that shit. So,
Oh, speaking of picking, if Beast of War / OTT actually cans the store, how will we get our personally licked candies?
I have fucking no idea. Don't know, don't care. To be fair, I never order anything from them.
Well, if the project system eventually actually gets faster because they kick the shop system, I'm willing to pay for that.
I think we all are. Deep down, isn't it better if it just goes away?
Oh, look, tiny human.
Tiny human.
Yeah, Pete, in case you have missed I think it was on the XLBS that
Sexual BS.
Warren told people that since Business Daddy already has a job, they would be outsourcing it, quote unquote, sort of. So basically, OTT Store will go away. I'm not sure if that also counts for the store itself, or it's just the
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, fuck the store too.
Oh, grand.
It can all go the fuck away.
Someone
No.
is losing their jobs. Crispin? I don't think so.
That's fine. We can afford to lose some. No, Gershon is actually from Antienbo. He stood up to Cuchulainn and got fucked for his troubles. So it always amused me. Everybody else hid, and Big Gherkin went, I'll fucking have you, and then got beheaded. So, sucks to be him.
I think that leaves a mark if you get beheaded.
Might done, but at least he didn't run away, didn't back out, wasn't a coward.
Or maybe he would have run away if it was a white rabbit. Run! Run away!
White rabbit.
Oh, look, there's somebody stuck to the wall.
Yes. This surprises me. Because I thought the whole point of 3D printing, people doing their 3D printing things, was that a lot of this weird shit would already be sculpted in.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't. A lot of this, the weirdness had to be added
Hmm.
via the medium of a Denzian. So you had to add extra gribbly bits and sputum and stuff.
Well, the people are already glued to the walls here.
Yeah. There's extra things.
Well, he's definitely going all in on this weird and wacky voyage of.
Now I'm gonna have to find out who Jerry Cinnamon is. I'm curious. Yes.
He's a cinnamon girl. In the cinnamon world.
That sounds familiar. Is that a song?
Typo negative.
That's why it's familiar.
Apologies to Pete Steele on this point because I cannot go as deep with my voice as he can.
Well, I don't think you have to apologize to him anymore because he's dead.
Yeah, but just on the off chance that there is an afterlife and I might meet him.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes, the nest growing ever further.
Oh, you know why he did add the greebly bits on this part? He ran out of resin.
Ah. Wacky fun.
Oh, see?
That makes slightly more sense.
So you're not so wise with your magic dark art 3D pretty things. You still resort to good old-fashioned making and crafting. Haha! I feel way superior now.
Oh, fucking...
Do you need a coffee?
Library Charlie. Because I was looking at the Aliens board gamey thing with a potential to do something like this.
The one that Tofty got.
Yeah. Let's say yes. Because she's got 2 or 3. So I'm fairly certain at least one of them is the one I'm talking about. I was thinking about doing pretty much what Denzian's doing. Do the Hadley's Hope all nested up to fuck for that dungeon event thing.
Dungeon
There's a lot of can I be arsed or not?
Yeah, I'm looking to my right and watching the partial assembled Dungeon Bowl thing.
Dungeon Bowl was great. Oh, hang on a minute. Are we talking about the same one? Dungeon Bowl I'm thinking of was you took the original polystyrene board that came in like 3 sections, and then you used the double end zones to do like a 4-player one where you could bounce it off the walls.
I'm talking about the one that was in White Dwarf as a paper terrain thingamajig. So it basically was a Blood Bowl in dungeon, big with bouncy balls from the walls. It was somewhere along the lines of Space Hulk and stuff with small walkways.
Dungeon alien, yes. Because if you get trapped in a dungeon, you'll end up being inly done. I dimly think I remember that redo one, where essentially they suggested you use like Warhammer Quest or.
Yeah, I guess those were those 3x3 and 2x4s and those set, and they made plans that were printed in White Dwarf, and one of the sections I built from what's that stuff called?
What was 89?
Plaster. Plaster, cast, tiles, and bricks. So it's a heavy boy.
Blah, 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 blah. Dungeon Ball was the spin-off from Blood Bowl. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure the original rules, you just used the polystyrene tile from Blood Bowl. Although you did need 2 sets of them. I should go up. I've got one in the loft somewhere.
Just watch out that your brother is not taking that with him.
Oh, he wouldn't take it with him. Long fucking
accident.
time. No.
After the very
stuff's
dreadful
far away.
ways of dying in the core.
Core dying. Die. Core. Die.
Making a river for games like
Saga, for example.
I think this was featured on the Tarani Fest as well.
Was it?
I think it was.
I hope so. I told them to, but I didn't watch the show.
I think it got
It
an
was on
honorable
YouTube.
mention at some point.
And I don't do YouTube anymore, so I couldn't see that.
Oh, he's using the horrible army painter knife.
I mean, it's no worse than any other knife. I don't think it is the Army Painter one. Or rather, it's probably the same one. It's just not an Army Painter one. It's a different brand.
Yeah.
They call them, what, X-Acto blades in America, isn't that it? With the twistiness.
Yeah, the thing is, if it's...
I think I heard that Warren's Terrain got mentioned on Terrain Fest very briefly.
I think if that's has the same feeling on hand as the Army Painter one has, then it just feels horrible because it's so lightweight, cheap plastic that you don't have any real guiding feeling in the grip.
That's why you should use Swan Morton. Nice, heavy fucking metal scalpel.
I've got an ancient
With
metal
number
one
11s.
from way back when.
All about the number 11s. That's me. Anyway, so the unpronounceable Uzerond, possibly. Well, that might be a Y, because he's Scandinavian. So that could be Oyen Shrewd. Who knows? Anyway, he's done some really nice stuff in the past, and then had done fuck all and forever, and suddenly reappeared, which was great. So I really like this, because this is a nice comprehensive, here's how you make a river for your gaming table.
A flat river
Tutorial.
that doesn't look too
Yep.
prominent, pronounced, sticky out of the table.
That's the one. So yeah, it's just a basic make your shapes, cut your shapes out, texture it, paint it, and then add your water effect. But it's when he hits the add your water effect part that it really comes to the fore, because there's some really nice additions in there beyond the usual. So there's a bit of layers of color for the riverbed, and then the pores use a couple of different types. So like a still water effect to get your depth, and then on top of that using one of the gels, like a water effect gel, to get the ripply waveness of it all.
But when
It's very similar to how I do my own.
When I first saw how he did the ends on those, I was worried a bit that this might end badly.
You know,
I've
if it ends badly, he's done it once.
I've seen resin pour videos that went horribly wrong.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you've got to do it and be damned. And if it turns out you've not sealed the ends correctly, then you'll not fuck it up again. But yeah, the final pictures, I think the final pictures only did like after, a couple of days after Train Fest ended. Because I remember looking through this with Ben going, oh, I really like those pictures, but they weren't done on the 31st of October, so they couldn't be included. So you just have to look at the rest of it. Now, to be fair, he had completed the rest before then. But seeing the actual forces set up, like the terrible Viking types attempting to cross the river, pining for your fjord, or 15mm Napoleonics crossing a little bridge. And it does look really nice.
It's a bridge too far.
Ah!
Yeah, but speaking of 50mm and removed entry,
Yeah, he spammed it.
I couldn't help but notice on this one picture he did. Where was it again? Oh, damn it.
Oh no.
There it is.
There it is. If you
Just
say so.
the sheer amount of weird miniatures in the backdrop. So the little lag you see here is some kind of scarecrowy bit with a pumpkin head.
You're going to make me scroll all the way up to see what's in there. Oh my god, I hate
And
you so
then
much.
some
I hate you.
Kindigits
I-
above, some World War II American laying around, then even more Niggets. Some
Yep.
odd Space Marine looking type things. And from out of nowhere, yes, these three tiny dudes. It's just, what?
Those three tiny dudes are from Joan of Arc by Mythic We've Got Your Money, haha games. The weird looking sci-fi dudes are Games Workshop's terrible stormtroopers. They give them stupid name.
This is
Like
just like
the Auxilium Submantlar Blam Blam Blams or something. Hey, Hazy Boy.
hello, Easy Boy. This is like the picture-grown definition of this is a hobby butterfly.
It's nothing. I mean, most of them are, a lot of them have got paint on them. Several of them are in the position of being based up. In the grand scheme of things, there's nothing wrong with that. You should see what I have kicking around my fucking desk, none of which is based, primed, or anywhere near being painted.
Or assembled.
Well, you know, occasionally get assembled. I got my beat 'em up stuff. Where's your beat 'em up from Bot War? The Bot War adjacent
I guess
game. Beat 'em up.
somewhere in Australia. Sitting on the shelf.
Absolute peasants. Looking forward to playing that.
If I
Wonder
want to
if hell
play
will be-
smash somebody up, I just go to town.
Bot War adjacent, Crispin. So it's Bot War adjacent. Bot War adjacent. Bot.
Almost,
War,
but not
war.
quite.
Adjacent. It is. It's just 80s side-scrolling beat 'em ups on the tabletop there, which is all good. Anyway, it's what we're here for. So yes, if you're ever looking to do a river, then that's a really good one to do, and it saves me having to do a jerry can. Fuck you.
People might take you on that again.
No, I
some
don't
point.
think so. No.
So Jefferson Powers, I think we've visited this lucky fellow for quite a number of times now.
Yep. New chapter complete. Purging of Carfax Abbey. Deserves to be purged. It's the only way it will work. Just purge it.
The
Purge it all.
heretics.
Look, inside there are several small boxes. Surely none of those will contain a Dracula.
I played enough video games, and especially Skyrim, that I'm not going to open those.
Open them all, you
Nope.
fuck. Why would you not?
Turn around, leave.
Filled with earth. Filled with terrible Transylvanian earth.
But if they filled with earth, I would use them and start planting little things like garlic.
That's one way of consecrating them. I don't know how long it's going to take for that to take root, propagate. Do we know how allergic he is to garlic?
I think that would be a nice trap for somebody like Dracula. Just, yeah, let's plant garlic all over the place. See if he finds them all.
Look at the nutters running about the place in their straitjackets, screaming, begging to be fed things.
They're not straight jackets. They're very cozy jackets for the ones who like to cuddle all the time.
I've got a size 42 chest and a size 57 arm. Off they pop. But yeah, once again, Jefferson Powers, really nice montage of the ongoing game. Reminds me of Goodison Park. They'll be in straight jackets at the end of the season if Man City don't get a fucking points deduction.
I love the way that what's it called? The terrain pieces really fit the narrative.
Battle systems.
Battle systems. That's the way of the name. Yeah.
Well, it certainly does. The Ruined Abbey set is particularly good at being a Ruined Abbey, which is handy for,
Ruined
Carfax
Abbeys.
Abbey.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Mr. Powers Jefferson. Nicely done.
Makes me feel like I should do something 7TV at some point.
Do Thunderbirds.
No, Thunderbirds is shit. Absolute horseshit. If I was going to do any puppetry at all, it would be Captain Scarlet, who wasn't shit. 2 deaths a week in Captain Scarlet minimum.
I like them both.
Bloodthirsty. Thunderbirds was cock.
I like
The stuff.
Thunderbirds.
Oh,
I
I've been trapped under a bridge. Then
Scarlet.
you'd have to wait for somebody to come and take the bridge off you.
I liked Space Bomber X Starfleet.
Oh, Supernatural 7TV could work. Ewok, because I have Sam and Dean. Because Hassle-Free made miniatures of them. So I've got them.
But would you also need a car?
Who are the baddies in Captain Scarlet? Anybody you want. The baddies in Captain Scarlet are the Mysterons, who, and this is very accurate for life in general. The Americans arrive on the moon, find a moon base, and the first thing they do is attack. And the Mysterons were peaceful until that point, till the point they got blown up by some gung-ho Americans, at which point they went, you know what, Earth, time for you to get well fucked. And that is the whole story. That is Captain Scarlet from that point on is having to fight off a fucking alien invasion of mind control people who can, turn back time essentially, all because the Americans couldn't see a civilization without wanting to shoot it. It's good. It's good
Watch
times.
you fuckers long enough. Now it's payback time. They needed Team America World Police. Yeah.
Joe 90 was great. Joe 90 where you got your egg whisk out. Whisk your egg. He would sit in an egg whisk every week and they would spin it round and then he would get new fucking memories. Has anybody seen the Josh Whedon TV show Dollhouse? Which was just essentially a live action version of Joe 90.
No, I don't think so.
It was good. It had Liza Dushkin, was that her name? Faith. She was like the lead in it. It got cancelled, like most things he did. Dollhouse cancelled, Firefly cancelled, Buffy cancelled, The Angel cancelled. It's good. It's good times.
Firefly, that one needs a rewatch.
Yep, that was great. Absolutely spot on. Alien share invasion.
Yeah, I think Dutch has a point. Good things get cancelled because to really underline that statement, 2024 will see episode 2 of The Ring, The War of the Ring.
What? Like them Rings of Power? That
Yes. The shitty.
one? Really? Why would
Yes.
they keep making that? It was terrible.
Yes.
No, but it was really bad.
Yes.
Them Rings of Power.
Yes. Part 2.
They could they could turn back time in a specific way, so they could rewind in a localized sense. So if you blew something up, and they did, so the moon base that got blown up, they reversed time so the moon base wasn't blown up, and then fucked them for blowing up that moon base a minute ago.
You know how
Now,
much.
just because they're immortal and can time shift, like fucking Yethian time streamers. Oh my god, stay away from Yethians. Cats.
So
Sorry.
what we learned today from that episode is don't go to the moon.
Yeah. Oh well, go to the moon by all means, but just because you see a civilization there you don't understand, don't automatically attack it, Crispin.
No. Let's go to the next project,
Wheel of
please.
Time got a new season 2. Apparently it did, Dutch. I've not seen it. I can't, not after watching the first season. I could never watch that again. Not in good conscience. On the plus side, I mean...
But they had oil.
they probably did. On the plus side, the Bale and Skull TV show was great. Unfortunately, there wasn't as much Bale and Skull in it as I wanted. There was quite a lot of Ahsoka and other people who weren't Bale and Skull. But I went back and rewatched the Bale and Skull show. I'm coming dangerously close to just going through OBS and cutting out all the bits with Bale and Skull in it and just putting my own episode together where it's just him for half an hour. Being great.
A shame that you've cancelled your YouTube account. You could have put up the Bale and Skull supercut.
Oh, I imagine that would get killed by Disney automatically anyway. And then once I've done that, I just sit and watch it over and over again and think how good it would have been if Kathleen Kennedy hadn't decided to have him killed.
Tiny Tongs by Miniature Brushwork.
Yeah, it's both brushwork on a miniature and it is a miniature brushwork.
And it's very tiny tongs.
It does everything. Don't worry, Jill. If you don't, just let me know and I'll stick it all in the Dropbox or onto OneDrive and send you them all. I mean, it's best not to pay Disney. They may just want to think that people want to keep giving them money then and keep making the same old shit. So yes, his little Flames of War Italian tanks. Right off the bat, they needed stowage in a John Stiley. What's the point?
I was going to ask, has John seen this? Has he wet himself?
No, I don't think John's seen it yet. He might see it this weekend. Who knows? Depends. I've not asked Ben what he's picking for the Bat-Bats.
I think this would tick all his boxes. There's 3D printy stuff, there's doing additional detailing, and then there's highly accurate painting.
Yeah, so well, you know, might do. But look at it. Look how jolly they are, despite the fact they're Italians. And they're fighting in World War II, which does not go well for them. Not to be confused with World War One, where it didn't go well for them, but they were on the winning side at least.
But technically, at the end of the war, they also went to the winning side, quote unquote.
There were two different Italian armies fighting. So depending on your point of view, they had all their bets covered there.
Well, if you go that route, then there were two armies for Poland and France. Both. Oh yeah, both of them had.
And England, lest we forget.
Yeah, true. Though I don't think they actually got armored up and ran around killing your own people.
No, they only had, I think, 42 members of the St. George SS unit, who immediately, upon being given their freedom, a uniform and a gun, absconded across enemy lines, and then repatriated themselves.
Whoopsie.
It's one of my favourites. Charlemagne's division was, I mean, they kept on fighting right to the end. They didn't fucking leave till Berlin. They were very adverse to going down or at any point being handed back over to the French for collaboration. I think that was why they stuck around.
Yeah, I think they saw coming what would meet their necks.
100%. The Daily Mail subscribers. No, shockingly, Dave, they weren't. When they started I think it was the St. George division. I can't remember what the number is for the SS. But anyway, whenever they started it, like the other foreign national divisions that they dropped in, they're looking for people to shore up and to, you know, work together and who were German speaking. And they I think they dug out like I think it was around 42. It was never much. It wasn't even a platoon's worth, for fuck's sake. But they got 42 English prisoners of war who also spoke German and said, "Oh yeah, we'll fight for you, Führer. Oh, this sounds like a great idea. This is where. Oh yeah, no, 100%. We were on the wrong side. Yep. Give me my freedom. Give me a gun and send me towards the enemy line, aka freedom." And then just all fucked off, absconded like bastards as soon as they got a chance. It was genius.
Yeah, imagine falling for that old trick.
Well, you know, to be fair, there were people handed back and forward at one point. The Czechs in particular, the Czechs who started on the German side, captured by the Russians, forced into Russian penal battalions, back against the Germans, captured back by the Germans again, and then put into back into German divisions, not penal battalions because they didn't really have them, but they just picked them up and then sent them off to the Western Front, off to Normandy. So it's like they'd fought on both sides multiple times.
Wasn't there also a Japanese POW captured in Germany, pressed ganged into fighting for the Russian at some point or something?
There was a weird one like that, yeah. I'm sure there's probably quite a few little weird bits.
I think that's
super
basically
weird
the
ones.
orange of bad luck, Brian. You really never win.
Yeah, well, that's true. My God, Joe was a cook. Stay behind enemy lines. Just cook for the war. Steal off anything else. Koreans.
Yeah, but staying behind enemy lines and cook, that's also not working. But at that point,
Well, that's true. They didn't have any
you see
food.
yourself facing a tiger, just capturing them all by yourself.
Is all Blackadder wanted. They were at D-Day on the German side.
Koreans.
Oh, that's particularly fucked up.
History says you picked the baddest day of all bad days to be here. Sucks to be you.
Very much so. Very much so. Still
Oh yeah,
Yep,
the
2
guy
atom
who
bombs.
got
Oh yeah, he got hit. He worked
in
in
Hiroshima
one
and
and
lived
lived
in
in the other. Yeah. Although people always go about, unlucky, hit by 2 atoms bomb, blah blah blah.
No, it's not Keith Richards.
You don't want to. You don't. It's like Cthulhu. You don't want to nuke Keith Richards. It'll just make him radioactive and immortal. It's very bad. But the story, the real focus on that story should be the fact that they dropped an atom bomb and that the train line was back working the next day for him to go to work. I mean, over here we get a tree down and everything's fucked for a fortnight.
Yeah.
That's the big takeaway, not the fact that somebody had an atom bomb dropped on them twice. It's the fact that they managed to fucking have the train line repaired and off they go again.
It's like the with Keith Richards thing when somebody asks God, what about Keith Richards? What's with him? I don't know. He was here before me.
It's here when I got there. We have to start thinking about what sort of a world we're going to leave for Keith Richards.
You know, the internet will be a very, very sad day when he actually dies one day.
They'll just move on to somebody else. I seen Ringo Starr had done one of those online quizzes, and it was, what Beatle are you? And he posted the result where it was, you are John Lennon, and he just wrote, what the fuck?
Not dead yet.
Poor Ringo. Doesn't even get to be Ringo in an online quiz. The worst Beatle.
What was the is Ringo Starr the best drummer in the world? He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
That's the one.
Horace.
So yeah, Horace 500, like disco.
Doing
He is
weird stuff.
well. This is his massive conflagration of all sorts of stuff, as and when he gets it finished. So there's a very interesting Space Hulky board done via the medium of that ups and downy 3D type things, which has a nice look to it. I found Space Hulk in the roof loft recently when they re-released it. the first time they re-released it, not the second time. I was like, oh yeah, I got that. I forgot about that. And opened it up to have a look at it. And not only had I forgot that I'd got it, I'd completely forgot that I'd bought the Battle foam insert for the box and had assembled everything and put it into it. I went, wow, I should really have played that at some point.
That's not so sounding like you at any stage.
I mean, it's kind of like me. I really like Space Hulk, or Spulk, as the kids call it. Spulk. So yeah. Obviously, the most important thing about Space Hulk is you never actually complete a scenario. You just get killed all the time. And then you go, let's just move on to the next scenario. Let's assume I won that one so we can go further.
In that way,
just cry.
It's pretty spot on then with the first video game adaptation by it.
That was so realistic, and it was so realistic because they didn't have the processing power to make it run fast. They wanted it to be like a Doom-esque, everything, running all over the place, but it didn't, and it made the Terminators feel like they were very slow and ponderous. You'd move slowly forward, and then you'd turn around, and you just see a Gene Stealer do that in your face, and then you'd die. The little screen would go into static. I think if they'd got to program it the way they wanted to, it wouldn't have been as much fun.
It was definitely hard as block.
Oh, it was fucking a nightmare. Absolute sharp bastards.
And it's one of those games you shouldn't be playing if you're sleep deprived in the middle of the night.
Yes, always. I just liked seeing when you
Command of command, welcome! Yes, but I can't do shit about ads, so feel free to...
Ads everywhere, that's why you should just delete Twitch.
Block them.
You can't block them. You just have to sit there and suffer.
Twitch can't block. That's
It's the worst. Absolute worst.
horrible thing.
Yes.
I remember winning the first scenario of Space Marines. My friends thought I cheated.
It makes sense when you think about it, because nobody won any Spulk game as the Marines. All you were there to do was to push models around while the Gene Stealer player got to fucking swarm you with blips and kick your shit in.
And eat your heart out.
Look at that.
Rusty Giants.
It's kind of a big deal. Big deal on the internet.
He's done. Is he pretty? No. Do I care? No. That's the spirit.
I don't know, he says that. It looks pretty to me.
Done is always better than perfect.
I'd love to know where he's from. I wonder if he's one of the what you call those people? Dungeons and Dragons type of things. It looks very similar to Mantic's giant in form, as long and gangly, but he's not.
The appearance doesn't ring a bell.
If it's not Gale Force 9, it could be Reaper, I suppose.
Well, it's a shame there's no way we could
No way we can ask. If only there was some way we could ask across the internet, time and space, but alas, it's never going to happen.
Square hammer.
Look at it. It's
Glorious, correct basis.
You're correct. Look at them. Look at them. Even if he has picked a shit city to come from. Obviously, yellow and black is the only correct way to paint them. And anybody who's going north, Middenheim or Middenland, is just doing it wrong.
Yeah, I feel you have a very stern opinion on that.
There's nothing stern about it. Everland is correct. And everything else is wrong.
To me, it's all the same.
It's all the same. That's not...
To me, it is, because I don't know the difference.
It's like me referring to you as a Bavarian.
Yeah, but you know the difference.
Or,
You know the difference. That's the thing. I don't know the difference.
It's an outrage. It's fucking outrage. There's places you can go online and look this thing up.
Okay, so I'm going to put a question into the
Oh, yeah.
geriatric tract of the Jerry.
You call me a geriatric now, you son of a bitch. I'll catch you.
Ignorance is no excuse, but ignorance is a bliss at times.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse. You are correct. Fuck's sake. Absolute fucking wanker.
Yes, I'm sure that's not brown lemonade.
Oh,
That's pretty
mate.
much what it is called, lemon.
Lemon?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds dangerously close to the old Bryn.
Oh, but speaking dangerously close,
Yes.
I've got a little miniature yesterday in the post.
Got a little miniature.
A tiny, tiny fighting man. I hope this is going to be... will come up in camera in a second. It's out of focus, I know.
Is it a man drinking brown lemonade?
Close. It's a man with a tea mug and comfy slippers playing the role of a Grand Moff.
Oh!
It's Tarkin
It's Tarkin.
in slippers.
Tarkin in slivers.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've seen this online. I can't remember actually. Was it on the XLBS? I think. Or
I can't
Weekender?
imagine so. No, that wouldn't make any sense.
And I just I needed that in my life. Having him with slippers and the trousers being pulled up so that his calves are displayed. It's just grand.
It's in Discord. That makes more sense, Jill. You see, they've not done a Moff for Legion, have they? And they probably won't before the fire sale. I suppose you could
No.
run him as General Veers instead.
Yeah, or just as a commander. I think it would be just hilarious to have him sit on the sidelines somewhere with little slippers and his tea mug.
Sorry, I just saying that. As clear as Republican infrastructure policy. Oh, we've not even talked about... Oh, that's true. They did do a Moff Gideon, didn't they? No, not Moff Gideon. The other one, the one who actually created the Death Star.
Yeah, that's the one.
Can't remember his name.
Oh, what's his face?
He created the Death Star, and then Grand Moff Tarkin goes, and you think this gives you power over me?
Krennic. Yes, Director
Director
Krennic.
Krennic. Yeah, use him as Krennic instead.
Yeah,
You may
but
have done him Gideon, actually.
that wouldn't really work because they actually get into an argument in the movie.
Yeah, but he won't get into an argument because there's only one of them on the table.
Oh, that's true.
You just need stats.
But I could just feel them as is.
Don't sell the home world. That is not the wrong fear. That is always the right fear. Alas, no longer with us.
Yeah.
Like everybody else on the Curse of Babylon 5, for fuck's sake.
Have you watched the animated one?
I have.
What's your verdict? I haven't seen it yet.
It's how can I best put this? It's okay.
Does it meet the spirit?
No, I have two major problems with it. One, it's like the real Ghostbusters compared to the Ghostbusters, and the real Ghostbusters was the cartoon where the guy who voiced Garfield the cat voiced Peter Venkman. I know how the voices are supposed to sound, and they don't. Too many people are dead.
Yeah.
They don't sound right. So the voices are constantly going, that's not right, that's not them, that's all wrong.
So there's a cognitive dissonance.
Yes. And then also, like the real Ghostbusters, it's made for kids. So it's a fine story. You know, if you're not a child, you know where it's going after about 15 minutes. You knew who was chasing him down and how it was going to end. And it's, I mean, it's a fun little kid. If you want your child to get into Babylon 5, this is a great way to do it. Start them off with this and then show them the TV series afterwards.
Well, if you go that route, you probably get questions like, "Why does this show look so shit?"
Any child who says, "Why does this show look so shit?" within ear distance of me is going to get a punch.
Well,
And if their parents don't want that child to be punched, then they should raise them properly. That show is not that shit.
Children don't get based.
Raised.
Or raised.
Raise them.
Okay.
Raise them properly. Raise.
For a second, I thought you were talking about putting children on square bases.
I would also do that. Especially if one of them criticised Babylon 5, I would use a fucking nail gun to put them on a square base.
Oh, stop making me laugh. I can't take a sip of whiskey now.
Start with the pilot, that'll confuse them. Do you know they recut the pilot? I didn't recut it, but they edited one line in the pilot to sync it up with later seasons, which I thought was
How did they do that?
What's the point? I don't want to ruin it. I need to go back and rewatch them. Rewatch them all. Anyway.
If I could, I would, but I can't. So I shan't.
Did you buy those B5 models that night, Soap? By the way, we had a long conversation, which ended up with me spamming links from eBay of B5 28mm models into the House of Water #BestHouse chat. And I think at one point Soap was thinking about buying them. And to be fair, I came brutally fucking close to buying several of them myself. And I was like, no. Because once I get one packet, I'll have to keep going until they're all mine.
You can't stop.
Pretty much. Almost, but it would start a collection. Yeah, that is the issue. It would start a collection, and finding some of the other sets would be a bastard.
Well, that's the biggest problem with most classic collection. You get 89% easily, and the last 2% or 11% get really expensive.
In this case, you could get one box easily, because there seem to be a fuckload of them online available at only like 50 quid for 6 models. But every other box apart from that, either non-existent or 3-digit sums. So, yeah.
That reminds me of me collecting the Shadowrun novels, which on paperback. 56 issues, and I think about 50 or so I got for €1, €2 at most.
Oh, definitely, Dave. Stick them up there. You'll make a fortune. Shadowrun. I mean, it's like a poor man's Cyberpunk 2020.
Yeah, but the novels are a nice read.
Are they? I never read them. Couldn't be arsed.
It's like reading the Warhammer novels from back in the day.
All right.
Before Black Library.
Yeah. Well, obviously that goes without saying. You wouldn't read anything modern. It's all wank.
Yeah, especially since the first, I think, 13 issues of the Horus Heresy novels were distributed by a proper, company doing books.
Publisher,
thank you.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Games Workshop was, now we are doing this ourselves now, and then quality just plummeted.
Right. Oh, I didn't even know that. That's a terrible shame.
Yeah, they were distributed and published by Heine. That's a very old German publisher who also did the ancient Warhammer books. So, and the funny thing is, the I now remember this because I was irritated by that. They had a page up where they stated which books they already had published under Warhammer license. And I think the first 6 or 7 40k novels were not on there. So Harlequin, Inquisitor, those were just not mentioned anywhere.
Yeah, that is a shame because they were great.
I still have them, sitting in my shelf.
I possibly have them somewhere.
Harlequin was another one. Can't remember the other names.
Inquisitor, Harlequin, and Joshua. Help us out. Ian Watson was a fucking legend.
They also were very distinct in that the design of the books looked very much like
Jack.
Choose Your Own Adventures book, Chaos Child, Deathwing, yeah.
Chaos Child, sounds about right. Jack Draco trilogy.
I always wondered why they were never mentioned again.
They republished them though. I just ignored it on the grounds I owned them, so I didn't have to go near it. Yeah, Chaos Child was the third. Draco, Harlequin, and Chaos Child. But yeah, they redid it. I remember the original Draco. There was I don't know who did the actual artwork, but he looked like Sean Connery from The Hunt for Red October. Somebody did it. Like there was an ink sketch. It may have been Blanche actually.
Well, I guess the artwork on my books were different because I can't remember that they looked very much Blanchesque.
Oh no, it wasn't front cover artwork. It was in a White Dwarf.
Ah, okay.
Or something like that. But that was so much more interesting. Remember where they had the Hydra? They made Melindy, the assassin, eat a chunk of it so they could transport it back without having to have it in biostasis, and then they would just open her up and take it out. Really fucked up things like that they wouldn't do these days.
Maybe I should do a reading of the German books on stream.
When they redid the Kim Newman books as part of a Warhammer horror line, they re-edited some of them. Don't tell me that.
Why would you go in and edit books?
I mean, especially Kim Newman stuff. I've seen somebody online saying they'd avoided Warhammer novels or something, blah, 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 for ages. Finally got one, and it's great. Can you tell me if Warhammer's all like this? And then the novel, it's like a vampire thing. And I went, well, in that case, that must be Kim Newman. So that must be Genevieve Undead, Silver Claws, something like that, Drachenfels, one of his vampire books, to which he responded eventually, going, it was Anno Dracula. Going, it's not a fucking Warhammer book. That's really annoying me now. Not only is that not a Warhammer book, it's written by an author who's written several Warhammer books about vampires, yet you've read one set in fucking Victorian London about Dracula and Queen Elizabeth, or sorry, Queen Victoria, wasn't it? Yeah, Queen Victoria. And you've decided that is what Warhammer is. Have you actually read the book? Have you just Googled this and then you're trying to get clicks or likes or something online? You fuckwit. Fuck off out of my sight. Fuck's sake. I know Dracula's good. Anytime you've got Dracula sitting on the throne of England with his penis as long as a python just curled up in front of him while Queen Victoria is sitting at his feet stroking his leg is just fucking magical. But it's about a massive python penis. But none of that was in fucking Warhammer, the old world, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Save me.
Nick, I love Don Abnett's 2000 AD Warhammer stories about Inquisitor called Dread.
They were very good. I might not. I had a Warhammer Monthly somewhere where I had a picture of Dan Abnett in very early Photoshop holding a meeting with like 5 other Dan Abnetts all around the table in various places. And at the board, there was like an A3 thing that, like a flip chart where it was books that I currently haven't written yet, and the Bible, the Yellow Pages, Lord of the Rings, and it was his plan to try and write these books. Because, let's face it, Dan just fucking writes everything, including Scooby-Doo cartoons. So weird. Have I been talking about Kim Newman? Might not be. You don't know. You're not the boss of me.
Things I haven't written yet. The Bible, Yellow Pages. Yeah, that's...
Yeah,
I'm pretty
the
sure one is more useful
great,
than
by
the
way,
other.
folks. If people have not, I think I may have. Somebody was asking something one day, It may have been Jamascat and somebody else. We were discussing how people online just argue all the fucking time. Like whiny arguing shits. And I think it may have been about Warhammer or Oldhammer or something on Facebook, at which point I just went, well, why are you there? Just go here. There's never an argument in there. It's fucking great. There's a Stuart Lee documentary where at one point he's discussing, and I think it may have been actually not a documentary, it may have been a lecture at fucking Cambridge or something, and he was discussing the intricacies of a Scooby-Doo episode he was watching with his like 5-year-old son, and there was like a bit in it that was quoting Shakespeare, and he's going, what is going on with this? And then he watched to the end, and at the end it was written by Dan Abnett. And he met Dan at one point and was like, did you do this Scooby-Doo thing? Why'd you put it in there? He's going, because good. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to know more about the Oldhammery world, then that is a great Discord to go to, and there is a link to various podcasts and the like.
Isn't
down,
that
down,
the
deeper
Discordy of the what's his face? Crown of Commands.
Oh, it doesn't sound like it would be. I mean, why would I link that in here? Anyway.
I don't know,
I don't know
because
either.
you're a very weird person.
Yeah, I'm a little bit weird, I'm a geezer. But the things like the Oldhammer Fiction podcast, there's a set of like 6 or 7 podcasts in a podcast channel list, and whenever something's published, they get flagged in there. And the Oldhammer Fiction podcast is fucking cracking. So it's a really good listen. He's going through old stories and stuff as well, so it's cool.
You know what I always forget when we come to the end of a show?
I've no idea. What do you forget? We're not at the end of the show, by the way.
Yes, we are. When I say we are at the end of the show, we are at the end of the show.
You son of a bitch. It's just because you want to go for a wee.
No. I want to go have another drink.
Oh, no. As long as it's not the fucking Hitler juice.
I told you, I'm out.
I'll add those to the next one then.
Now, the thing that I have forgotten, that there's this weird odd function that's called a ride. So, yeah, but I doubt there's a channel called that. So,
if I can find a pudding channel, we should definitely read it.
No.
I'm just going to Google that. There's bound to be a fucking pudding on Twitch.
Let's see if this works. Hang on, inside. Yay! Let's go and view Mediocre Hobbies. I seem to have heard that name before, and they're working on some...
I've got a list of the biggest Polish Twitch streamers. Does that count?
No, it
just
doesn't.
Read one of them. No.
We're going to rate. Bye!
Tatty bye.